They wanted me to
Further
change.
back,
They
maybe?
want no. It's narrow. This is. Yeah, I'm gonna put it way back.
Well, why can't
Well, I know we haven't done
they,
that.
they won't let you go to the side?
I thought I did that before, and we did a laptop before. That's all right. We're gonna back this out. So thanks for joining uh, us here on Destination Freedom. Welcome to. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure this is nice and neat here. See how I'm doing. There's nobody in here right yet. So, but anyway, if you're watching this later, that's cool. Hopefully, we'll find out when someone shows up that we are, them picking up on the mic, and I'll probably move this around so we can hear you talk. Or either that, or I'll just have to disconnect it so we have the ambience in the room.
Yep.
We may turn off that fan. That'd probably be a good idea. But anyway, welcome to tonight's broadcast. We're going to talk about a little bit about 9/11. Not going to get into all details about 9/11, but we're going to talk about some political crap. That's normal. Political and crap goes together, kind of like conspiracy theory. But all right, welcome. Oh, the sound is great. Okay, good. Thank you so much. Now that's a podcaster who knows to give the good sound. That's awesome. So yeah, I was trying to turn my phone sideways because I do have some guests here, and I'm going to move the camera so that we can get right in. There is. Let's see. You might have to slide closer, gang. Yeah, everybody come in nice and close. There we go. We have. I'll stay off camera. That'll be good. But we have Alma here, and she's my assistant in the office, and just miraculous, I have to say, helping me and the support that I need, and certainly support for for the work we're doing. We are working very hard to catch up and to deal with clients, things, and all that. So I appreciate you a lot, and I'm thankful for you. So that's good. And then also we have our media director, which coincidentally happens to be my son, Michael. And so I'm glad to have him on the team and doing the support. It's a joy for me to have him be a part of this work and to be doing the same things. I love traveling with him, and he's going to be, or he is the media director, working on all of our social media stuff. And if you we want you to like and subscribe and follow those things if that's what you do. If you don't do the social media stuff, that's fine. We understand that, and we recognize that as something that's really important for people to be where they want to be. But there's a lot of people to unplug from the matrix. Hey, and look, we also happen to be in the office, and that's kind of cool. And I don't even have my phone plugged in. I have the power. Oh, I do. Yeah, no, I am plugged in. I forgot to. Oh, we'll see. I think I got a lot of juice in the battery. So anyway, because I'm doing the technicals, it's a technological nightmare. So hopefully it'll work out great. But I definitely want to, before we get into some talking about the stuff, I do want to open up and just see how these guys feel about the work we're doing, and meeting a lot of you guys and talking with you on the phone. A lot of times we don't get to see the faces of everybody, but how is it going for you? Now, I just want to say, Alma moved all the way from Hawaii back to New England. So her family's in New England, and she's obviously can be closer to her family. So this is just a huge blessing to have her be, staying right in the area here and being real close to the office. So that's a winner for us. But how is that? Now we're going to roll into the colder weather. How is being back in New England? It's been how long?
It's been probably 30 years since I've endured a winter.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be an adventure.
That's good.
It's gonna be an adventure.
So I just know, we're all going to Acapulco in February.
Yes.
So we're all going to an Acapulco, if they have it, which I'm sure they are. So if you plan to go to Acapulco, and or if you've been there, we're looking forward to meeting you. It looks like I'm going to be able to speak from the main stage, so that'll be a blessing, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone. If you decide to come and you're a fan of Destination Freedom, and then we want to have drinks together with you, and we'll do something on our own as well as part of the conference. And there's plenty of social time there in Acapulco. That's in Acapulco, Mexico, in February, and so we'll be suffering in the winter for that week, enjoying that. So that'll be good. And so anyway, so how is it? You're looking forward to the winter or no?
I wouldn't say I'm looking forward to the winter, but I've got to prepare.
Well, we'll make sure you're as comfortable as possible. And now, you grew up here, so this is no
I'm
big
used
deal.
to the cold.
You're into the New England winters and all that stuff. So.
Yeah, I'm ready for winter. It's like we're just gonna be stacking our acorns, and we're just gonna be laying it out and getting it done.
That's good. Yeah, that's awesome. So we'll see how that plays out, and who knows, maybe we'll go mobile in different places and stuff and do this broadcast from there. I did want to show you around the office. Did you guys want to add anything to how do you like working and doing this kind of work? Is that you don't know?
It's very fulfilling. I feel like it's important.
Oh, good.
It's definitely interesting seeing everyone's different situations and how they're handling their money and everything and getting out of the system.
That's great.
It's pretty wild.
That's
It's very
awesome.
different for everyone. So.
It is. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it immensely. Everybody that I talk to, just extremely intelligent, really want to be free, want to prepare for themselves, don't need the government to do anything.
Yeah, people's different reasons, morally or money-wise, it kind of covers both. So it's a wide variety of why people are doing it, and it's different situations. It's very a niche lifestyle.
Yeah,
you got to commit to.
That's good.
And
I
yet
love
the
that.
two are intertwined, right?
Yeah.
The ethics and the money.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're both important. So.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. No, I love that insight. That's great. See, I taught my kid everything he knows.
He gets all the credit.
No, I mean, his mother's not here, so I'm going to take all the credit I can there. No, she's, no, I mean, we've got a great family, and, we get to be together a lot, and I'm thankful for that. So, yeah, it's a great thing. And one of the things that Michael and I have an intention is that we, at some point, we'd like to do a podcast and just, talk the stuff that we care about. And that's variety, not just the, what do you call it, the philosophical things and all, but we love music and films and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to, not with Destination Freedom, but with Michael, maybe sometime doing a podcast of some sort where we can just relax and talk things that are not necessarily political, but I'm sure we have an opinion.
When we have some time. We don't have.
Yeah, we'll have some extra time. I'm ordering
It's
that
a rare
from.
thing.
I'm ordering some time from Amazon. It's coming in a box next week, but that's going to be good. But anyway, was there anything else you guys wanted to share? I wanted to just you can hang out here. I wanted to show you around the office a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll sit down and get into talking about stuff. But you notice I got in the background we have this. I love that I have my V mask up there, and inside that box has got a what was it? No, it's the comic book that's V for Vendetta, and then of course the Matrix poster is part of that. And then these. Listen, I had to put my books and box stuff away, and I really haven't done that yet. But the shelves became a part of that. So
The Revolutionary War Matrix.
yeah. No, exactly that. So I wanted. So I can't. I don't think I can change. Oh, I might be able to change directions. Let's see if I can change directions on this, and see if I can. Let's see if it'll rotate to the other camera. There you go. So anyway, we're sitting here, and so we're on this end of the office now. We this looks out into the parking lot, but this is the long part of the office, and so this looks into one part of the office. But you can see that we have the bookshelves and stuff like that. and they're not really, everything's not where, and there's a story for everything that we have in the on the books. Most of the stuff is my man cave stuff. So got my nice picture of my wife and I, and some other stuff, my theater stuff and all. But this first desk here, this room here, if you look at, is going to be more for doing the broadcast stuff, and then. But this is Michael's desk where he's going to do all of our editing, all our video stuff like that, and he works this part of the office. So that's his desk, and then I have my stereo. We haven't got that completely set up yet, and then we have our kitchen area, and then here's Alma's desk. She's right here by the door, and so there you go. So that's right. Leanne's, she's on the calendar to get done, and so anyway, so that's her desk, and then this is my desk over here, and still putting some stuff away, but we have all of our filing cabinets and all that stuff, and so we got all the stuff. It's a bit messy, but it's kind of fun, and so got my lava lamp. So I'm from the 80s, right? So the office is kind of wide and long and all that. So that's kind of cool. But and then during the day we have all the work lights on, so it's really bright, and that's kind of cool. So, but anyway, so that's the office there. So anyway, so I wanted to share that with you and let you know how thankful I am to to be doing this work and all, and I appreciate everybody following us and on YouTube, and also for us and for you, if you're following Destination Freedom, be sure to go over to our BitChute account, log into that so you don't miss anything if anything happens with this platform and that doesn't go favorable. I don't usually talk politics and all that, but things are relevant and things that are going on, they affect the economy and all that stuff. So, we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. So anyway, so that's what's going on. We have some great things coming up. I'm going to be in LA at the beginning of October for a class. It's a private class. We have clients that want to take the class, and we're going to be working with them and their company and transitioning them out of the federal zone. That's exciting. And then and I got some stuff going on. I'm going to be traveling at the end of the month, so that'll bleed in there together. And so I'm thankful for that. And I'm thankful for your prayers for me and for my wife and her health and all. And she's doing better. She's very committed to her health and all that, and I'm grateful for that. And so we're very optimistic about how things are doing and working out, and so that's what's on our plate. Trying to think of that. Yeah. So we're just staying with it. We have a backlog of work that we're chiseling away at and moving forward. There's a lot of activity all the time, but we're very grateful for doing this whole thing. So anyway. Be sure to like and subscribe, and let's talk a little bit tonight and see. Hopefully, the presidential reality show is going on, and that's relevant to many people, millions of people in America, and it's it is laughable. As you know, I'm not a big fan of the union. And it's not that I'm not a big fan of America. I think the greatest part about America is that it is made up of 50 countries or states. All those states are members of the Hague Convention, like all the other states in the world. And so America doesn't really get the idea, because they've been so indoctrinated and educated by their government, that America's a country. The Europeans haven't gotten on board with Europe being a country. It's a continent, if you will, made up of countries. Okay, that's what we are in America, folks. Okay, we will have our merchandising page of "Make America States Again." and that's coming. So be sure to watch for that. And so that's what I think is America will be even better if we're decentralized. New Hampshire had its primary yesterday, and I voted for people that I knew in New Hampshire. Okay. I did not vote to send anybody to the swamp. I think that's an unkind act. I do not believe in voting for lesser evil. That's still voting for evil. I mean, listen, if you cared about liberty and freedom and you were in a communist country that had voting or looked like voting when you knew damn well it was just a structure, and would you vote for Communist Party 1 or Communist Party B, and you would try to vote for the lesser of the Communist Party? That's just foolishness, okay? And the fools are out there wanting to tell you that if you don't vote, you shouldn't complain. Oh, I would have an expletive right there, go, yourself. And that's just crazy. Listen, voting is about the right to representation, okay? And if you don't feel represented by someone, you certainly should not vote for them. Now, the idea of voting is definitely tried and true in the sense of your community. Everybody gets to have their say in that matter, okay? And but in New Hampshire, when I put my ballot into the actual wooden box, it's not a machine. They actually count them. I wrote myself in a couple times. When the town put out the results, I saw my name showed up. They acknowledged it 2 times on there because I wrote myself in. So anyway, but I lost against 3 other people that wrote themselves in. So we had a 4-way tie. Damn, I could have won. I needed somebody else to vote me in. I would have won. Oh, I should have enrolled somebody into voting for me. Not that I really wanted to, but it was blank. I thought, well, I should do the right thing. But anyway, I did vote in my country. I did not vote for anybody in the feds. And there's a great gal that I know who's running for Congress. I refuse to send good people to the swamp because 3 things that could happen in the swamp. 1, you'll be irrelevant. 2, you could be corrupted. Or 3, if you're really good, you might end up dead. Why would I send good people there? I would rather them come into New Hampshire and kick the feds out in New Hampshire. That's what I'd rather them do. And listen, I had a rep contact me like last year and said that he wanted to run for Congress. And I said, well, that's interesting. I said, you're a great guy. I supported your campaigns all the time. I will not support you in going to the swamp. If you want to run for governor, I'll join your campaign. I'll campaign for you. I'll support it financially. I'll get money for you. I'm committed to your campaign if you want to be governor or you want to be something in New Hampshire. Kick the feds out in New Hampshire. So that's my commitment. What I was blessed about was that somebody that was a rep called me to ask my opinion. By the way, he didn't run for Congress because he's a good man. And so maybe I persuaded him. I'm thankful for that. So I just care about my country. And the best part of America would be that it's decentralized. If corruption was gangrene, and I said this last night in my other broadcast, would you, how would you do with respect to Washington, D.C.? It's just bad. And this debate was laughable. And I'll say it like this too, and I've said this before, of Trump and Kamala Harris, okay? I would not vote for Trump. I didn't, and I didn't vote for Kamala Harris. But Kamala Harris is the better candidate than Trump. Why would I say it? Well, because she's the bigger idiot. And so that's why I would want the bigger idiot in D.C. Okay, because listen, if Trump gets in there, there's going to be millions of people. He's got the populist vote. They're going to be satisfied, like as if they got their guy in, and somehow that's going to make America, the DC relevant. That's why it's bad. I call him the big pacifier. So again, that's, if America's not puking because of DC, because of their warmongering, their banking, their big corporations, the FDA, the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, all that shit. If America's not, and who's running, shutting that shit down? Nobody. Nobody. Why? Too afraid, or it won't make a difference. So the idea of that is like it's a stinking shit show. So anyway, so that's why I feel the way I do. So yeah, Kamala would be better for America because America's got to be puking. Not like, hey, we won the political Super Bowl, yeah, red team, blue team, blue, yeah. That's what we're in America, political sports. That's what we got here. What a crock of crap, okay? It's enough. Your state is enough, okay? It's enough. And listen, in my state, and just like anything else, take away your power in your state and give it to your counties. Divide up that power to your counties, and then your county power. Pull the power out of your county so your towns take up that responsibility. Disempower your county. And then your town, take away power from your town and let the community do its own thing, and it doesn't need the town to officially do any crapping thing. That's the way it should be. So constantly decentralizing and taking away power from your government, because as Frederick Douglass says, power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Find out what people will, I had that quote now. Find out what people will submit to, and you'll have found the exact amount of injustice and wrong which will be imposed upon them. And these will continue until they're resisted with either words or blows or with both. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those in whom they oppress. And we have a high endurance level in America for the amount of corruption we allow. 9/11. If you believe the government's story on 9/11, you're a fool, okay? Because the bottom line is there are experts who are physicists and who are scientists that understand the science of fire and explosives and buildings and all that stuff. And they'll say, never in the history of the world has a steel structure building ever fallen because of fire. They build them out of those because of fire. Why? Because steel doesn't melt by wood and paper and the inside stuff that's in them, okay? So that's the truth of the matter. Is this building I'm in is a brick building, okay? And the structure inside of it is not steel. It's big, huge wooden beams. If this burns, it's coming down. Why? Because wood is the structure. Steel doesn't do that. What a mess. The purpose of 9/11 was the USA Patriot Act, among other things. That was ground taken. They had it written. It was right away they were voting. It was over 400 pages. They wrote that thing up. That was ready in the wings before 9/11. That was the purpose, was the surveillance state. And that's what came out of, that's what was born out of 9/11. And that's sad, But that's one, look, Oklahoma City, same thing. 9/11, same thing. It's just it's just ridiculous. If you haven't seen Loose Change or In Plain Sight or any of those major films that present all that data, I promise you, that same government, those same people who wanted you to mask up and inject you with poison are the same people that are behind all this crap worldwide, not just in America. So the only reason America is a major target is because they're armed. That's why. So, it's a mess. So it's sad about 9/11, what happened on that. I remember I watched that, it was sad, but that's the truth of it. And so I'm not going to go into all those details. There are plenty of videos on the subject matter. If you haven't seen them, then be sure to avail yourself to that data and information, so that's part of that. The other thing, as far as, again, the politics of it, one of the things, I want to just point out a few things that I loved, not so much about last night, the debate and all that stuff, but I love it that, that the liberals are all saying that Russia's going to take over, deal with the election, like as if they're voting. It's like a mess. it's the whole voting thing is a mess anyway. Who has confidence that they're going to actually, count proper votes? It's already facts and evidence that these electronic machines can fix vote. They already testified before Congress that that's the case. As long as there are machines counting ballots, those are ballots that have never been visibly counted. That's a hidden vote. Okay, so let people do it. We can count ballots, not a big deal. Divide them up, count them up, match them up. There's all been counting ballots for years, not a big deal. Handle them like money. But the thing I love is they want to say the Russians were going to affect the election. That's what they're going to say. So if Trump wins, it'll be because of the Russians. Well, I love it that Putin he backed Kamala Harris. I love it. So he's going to say, hey, why would I fix the election for Trump when I'm for Kamala Harris? So that's just the best. So the Russians support Kamala Harris. That's just the best. So I love that sentiment. It's just wonderful. So what a mess. And I don't have much confidence in DC. So I would invite you to make America states again and be done with the District of Columbia. And that's really what Destination Freedom does, is help people pull out of the federal zone, pull out of the District of Columbia. And that's what the website, DestinationFreedom.org does, is to assist people in changing paperwork. And we do that process with the passport process with the U.S. State Department. And we get our documents signed by the Secretary of the United States. That's the file that you submit under penalty of perjury. And we reject that 14th Amendment citizen, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and we embrace our citizenship by habitation and domicile. It's as simple as that. It's not a fight. We're not fighting the IRS. We're not saying, listen, in the class, the states versus federal citizenship class, which you can take online, I'll show you the law that requires most people to file and pay. And that law is the Constitution of the United States, okay? That is Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, gives the federal government exclusive legislative authority in all cases whatsoever in the District of Columbia, and of course with their federal citizens, and that's a 14th Amendment citizen, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, and resident aliens. Those are aliens that are residing in the District of Columbia. That's the way they have it on paper. So that's who they of course can tax and regulate them, and they don't have constitutional limitations because the Constitution gave them that power. Okay, so that's how it works. So anyway, we have classes on that so you can see it for yourself, see it from the tax code. It's congruent with federal code and all that. Same thing goes on with federal gun laws. They are also constitutional because they are for their citizens worldwide or in the states and in the District of Columbia, including resident aliens. Okay, drug laws, that's for the U.S. citizen and resident aliens, and of course in the District of Columbia. So federal citizens, resident aliens that are in California and all the states, they're subject to all those statutes and codes as well. See, it's all in the District of Columbia. That's why you're constantly asked, are you a U.S. citizen? Okay, so it's an interesting idea, but that is the truth of it. And so we just acknowledge it, and we just make different choices. That's all. And you have the power to do that. So anyway, that's part of that. So anyway, that's some of what I wanted to share tonight, and just talk about some of the overtones of the politics going on. And again, we're going to see. But listen, this is some weird and dangerous times right now. You're going to watch some banking stuff happen, and depending on how this election turns and how people feel, you're going to watch the stock market do stuff. You're going to see the dollar tank or be strengthened based upon whatever's happening. And then the transition between, November the 5th, remember the 5th of November. Yeah, where's my V stuff? Yeah, let's see. I got my V stuff here. There we go. There we go. We'll come back over this way. So, yeah. So anyway, I got to have my stuff. So election day, what's the chance that it's Guy Fawkes Day? That's kind of cool. But anyway, that's coming up. And so what a weird time between now and November the 5th. So again, prudence would say to make sure that you have your affairs in order. You know, you want to make sure that you have good supplies at home and all that stuff, because we don't know what kind of supply chains are going to be interrupted or bothered, or what will launch into World War III or any of that stuff. It's a dangerous time right now, and you should take care in that matter with respect to your family, your communities, and things like that. So that's important. And it's going to be a weird time between November the 5th and the 6th of January, of course, you know. And listen, if it doesn't go the way the majority of the people are going to be, there may be some upset people, and it may not be like times before. It may be completely different, and so just be aware of that. You know, I'm not. I'm just saying it's some dangerous times, and you got to watch for that. But you can always be positive and excited. Connect with your community and your neighbors. Do it while there's no alarm, and that'll be always better. And so that's what I encourage. So let's just move into a little bit of answering some questions and comments. Of course, if you have a question, you can ask it in the chat. That's cool. And of course, if we read the chat, after the video's up and you want to write questions, then that's fine. Otherwise, you can go to DestinationFreedom.org and write questions there into the contact us, or on the video. That's fine. We'll try to follow up and connect with you. So I wanted to let you know that. One of the questions that came through, I think Amma fields some of these questions. Someone says, would you recommend moving to a state with no income tax? Does this process include that as well? That's a great question. Here's the truth on that, is that if you don't have a federal income tax liability, you won't have a state income tax liability, because the state income tax is also for federal citizens and resident aliens and is based in the federal. And so that's how that is. But I would move to a state that has no income tax, just so you don't have the state involved in that part of your life. If you come to New Hampshire, which I invite you to come to New Hampshire, come in, as Mr. Rogers would say, be my neighbor. And we don't have an income tax. We don't even have a sales tax. We do have high property taxes, which is not good. And of course, Destination Freedom is working on those remedies for that. But if you don't have an income tax liability, you're not going to have a capital gains tax. None of that stuff is there either. So, but yeah, I would move to a state that has less taxes, as well as no income tax. That definitely be there. And but yeah, this process does deal with that, and sometimes we have to deal with IRS on behalf of clients that have issues with that, or the state. Someone asks and says, if we have LLCs registered in Wyoming, would this process cover that? Well, LLCs and any kind of a corporation are part of government, and so therefore, and many times those LLCs have tax ID numbers, and so all that stuff's got to be shut down. Come out of the government, come out of the public, come out of the District of Columbia, and be in the private and do things personally in your own personal capacity. You can do anything that a corporation can do, you can do as well. Corporations are based out of irresponsibility, because people are looking for privileges and immunities, protections from liability, and privileges, meaning they want write-offs and all that stuff, and so that they can protect their personal assets from harming other people. And so government allows you, they harm people, and so they say you can harm people too and not be liable for it. Form a corporation with us, we'll tax and regulate you, and then you can be immoral. So anyway, if not, what should we do for that? Is there a class that covers that? We will at some point create a class associated with those kind of transitions, but here's what we have right now. And we're going to implement that sooner than later. Because of our backlog, I've been reluctant to take on some of that, but we do have clients that are ready to do those transitions out of the corporate into the private, and what we want to do. So right now we have a provision. Normally we have an hourly rate, and I don't want to say what that is. You can check it out at the website, because I don't want to date the broadcast here. but our hourly rate is cheaper when you buy it. We do an hour a week, and you buy for the whole month, and then we'll help with that transition and go month to month. And that's one of the ways we're helping those clients, and we'll be implementing that probably for next week. So anyway, that's part of that process of helping people, because there's a lot of paperwork, a lot of interaction, things to shut down, things to ramp up, and all that stuff. We do have what we call alignment workshops that are part of that come with the passport process. We have a passport workshop where you can do all the paperwork yourself. We have templates. It's the whole process from soup to nuts, all the way to getting your FOIA documents from the State Department. And then the full passport process also includes those workshops. And we do the paperwork for your passport process, all the way from submitting documents to dealing with anything the State Department has. We do all that for you. The state citizenship class doesn't require a hold harmless agreement. That's available to anyone, and that's on the website. That's required if you're going to do the passport workshop, but it's not required for the full passport process, but it does come with that. And before you get into the alignment stuff, you'll have to take that, but it does come with the full passport process. Someone said, if I wanted Christopher to handle my paperwork for the driver's license, how would that work? How much that cost? That is an additional charge. So the workshop comes with both processes, but there is an additional charge for that, and we can end up doing that process for you. That is true, and we have the website accommodates that. Recently, I've been in contact with a company for independent contractor work. Their agreement has a lot of federal statutes and references. Okay, I was wondering if you have an explanatory statement template available for IC work that I can use. I would say that the templates that we use in the alignment workshop would be appropriate, as well as your W8 and W9, IRS W8 and W9 alignment workshop, which comes with the process. Those together will give you the information you need. If you're looking for me to review contracts and look at those particulars, you can contract, and we can you can hire us to review documents. And of course, you can also hire us to write things. Usually when we don't usually get into contract writing, but we would be glad to assist you in the writing of them. Maybe we'll go over and counsel with you. You want to write them up, that's fine. And then we can go from there. But again, that's all part of counsel. And we do make that available to our clients. And yes, we've had clients do that. I remember one client that was, let me say this before I get into that story, is that we will do a class. I've talked about this a lot, but we will do a class that moves clients from being employed and helping them to develop their own business and things like that, and then and how to deal with the company and all that. So there's a transition. We want to help with a class like that, and so that's coming up. We do have a debt discharge class that's online. That's only available to clients. That's people who've done the passport process. And then also we set up trusts for our clients. That's a foreign irrevocable trust that a lot of times people want to put their assets in, especially if they're dealing with IRS, things like that. So that's also available to clients. We really don't serve anybody else in our services other than clients. The only thing available that's available not to a client, and that is our state versus federal citizenship class. So someone says, I'm a commercial truck driver. Would you recommend that I find a new line of work? I've currently filed W-8 and don't pay federal taxes. I've done the W-8, Chris. You definitely want to do the W-8 and the W-9 for that. Oh, Chris, yeah, I don't know what kind of W-8. If it's a BEN, then it's incorrect. That's still in the federal zone. So if it's not a general W-8 that specifically keeps you out of is signed without the United States and all that, that W-8 may be Correct. But listen, if you're employed, then you're not going to do this process while being employed. If you're a contractor, then yeah, do a W-8, W-9, and which you're not going to provide social or a tax ID number, and then you're just going to simply contract. You'll be responsible for your own taxes, if any, and you can still do the truck driving. If truck driving isn't your joy, then what I recommend is if you own your rig, and I've said this to other truck drivers before, then go in business with a young truck driver and contract with him, okay? And be a partner. What does that mean? That means that you have the rig and then you rent the rig to your partner and he does all the work and stuff. So how you bill out for it is you get money that covers the work, the maintenance of the rig, and then you make some money in that regard on every load and whatever it is. And you keep your standards nice and high, and he gets paid for his time. He does all the driving and all that. You work as a team. You define your contract, your agreements with each other, and you use that tool indefinitely or whatever. That's your retirement, is to be able to facilitate that. Maybe you're part of the job, since you're knowledgeable as a truck driver, you'll do the administrative stuff because you know that stuff already, and your driver isn't employed by you, but he just contracts with you. You got a somewhat of a partnership. And then maybe at some point, if anything happens to you, maybe he may obtain the truck from you or something like that, or maybe it's your family's truck, and whatever it is. It's a beautiful relationship. Don't just give that up. That's an asset that you've worked hard at owning. If you just sell it, then that's the end of your income stream in that way, if you will. So anyway, it can be a real beautiful thing for you to transition to something that works with you better. Freeing up your time, owning something that makes you money. That's the best way to do business. So I don't know if I can see that whole, anything else, whether I can't see the whole comment. It says to hire you, and that's the end of that. But anyway, hopefully I answered your question. So anyway, some of the things that I want to have come up is I'm going to send out an email that deals with that transition, that corporate transition, if you will, and the counsel that goes along with that. And then one of the things that I want to do on Sunday is I want to do a free call. That is what I call an accountability call. And boy, don't I need that. The idea is that you're making a declaration of what you want to have for your life. Maybe that's to do your own business. Maybe it's to stop being employed and you want to run your own business. That's going to be a call to make your declaration and what's going to happen the week. And you create accountability to come back and keep your word, to have things happen. Because most of the time we get caught up in the everyday grind of things. And it's just a beautiful thing to be able to come together with a group of people and declare what you want, and that group would open up possibilities for great things to happen for you, but that you will actually be taking ground each week and be accountable for that. I am at some point, I'm going to do a Bible study, and I don't know, because I've had people that have wanted to do that. I do have a class online that deals with operating the power of God as a follower of Jesus Christ. And so there is a class online. You can look up under our classes and down below say Bible stuff. Anyway, it's 12 sessions that moves in and helps you to understand the Bible for yourself. Okay, it's based in biblical research principles and things like that. And it's really a powerful class. And if you're interested in understanding that scripture from inherently within itself, that you'll find very empowering. But that's a class there. And so what I'm interested in doing on a Thursday night is to help people do their own home freedom fellowship. That would be, Christian fellowship, if you will. And that it would be hand in hand with your liberties. Because remember, freedom is a spiritual concept. So your walk or your faith is based in that. Now listen, I'm Christian, and of course that's what I believe, but maybe you're not Christian. Maybe you have a different faith you practice. You could practice your faith and do a freedom fellowship in that regard, and reach out to other people of faith and recognize that people have a right to choose what they want to believe and follow and such as that, and can be a part of your community and love people and stand for excellence and stuff like that. So, and if that's what you do and want to do, and you want to do a Freedom Fellowship that acknowledges that and is a contribution to your family and your community and things like that, then I want to support leaders in those places to do your own fellowship and help you, show you, and teach you how to facilitate those kind of gatherings. It's very simple, but anyway, my standard is Scripture, so that's how I work through that. So anyway, that I want to do on a Thursday night, and we've just just based on our schedules, based on not being in the office, based upon not having internet here, we've really been it's been difficult to do those kind of things, but we're going to do those more often here. So anyway, that's some of the things coming up. I do have I want to let you know, there are people actively working on Destination Freedom's upgrade, and let me just speak to that, okay? If you support us, we're raising funds for that. That's a lot of money. I mean, it's like 18 grand to overhaul the website. So what we're going to do is starting tonight, okay? We have a discount available for the full passport process, okay? It's a $200 discount. And of course, if this is videos out there for a while, we may end that discount whenever we reach our goal or whatever. It might take to the end of the month or whatever. It shouldn't take long. But the idea is, so if you have people or you want to get in, it's a couple $100 savings on that. Typically the full passport process right now is like $4,400. That includes all the workshops and all that. So it'd be $200 off for that. And then so we're looking to cover that for like the next, I don't know, 18 different clients that are going to come in and support that. But if you want to support with a donation for Destination Freedom, of course, we'll be thankful for that. That'll help us ramp that up and get that on there quickly so that we can have a website that is smooth and beautiful and flows well. Right now, it's my brainchild, the website, the way it is. I have to work very hard to get people to understand how it works and all that. And listen, there are experts that are much better at that than what I'm good at. So anyway, so that's what we're doing, raising money for that. And so we're offering a discount right now so that we can cover those expenses. So we're looking forward to that. And so anyway, and the last thing is that we have our prayer website that's getting ready to do its soft launch. So if you would like to be a part of our prayer website and be a part of that soft launch so we can test it out, then of course, please email us at statecitizen@destinationfreedom.org and say, want to support the prayer website. And that's going to be magical. And we'll have a video on that, and that'll be cool. The other thing is, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, So if you want to be a part of the accountability call, where we just support you in taking ground every week for your future, your venture, whatever it is, there's no cost to that. That is going to be Sunday afternoon. Just do state versus federal, state citizen at DestinationFreedom.org. And in the subject line, just say accountability call. There's that. And one more thing I want to say is that we are going to have a weekly call like this. I think it's going to be, I'm not sure. It may be before our live broadcast earlier, and we're going to be able to have clients come in and talk about whatever it is that they want to ask about, and we'll take an hour to answer questions only for clients, and it won't be on YouTube like this. It's going to be in a private conference call where they can talk to each other and everybody can speak and all that. So that'll be on GoToMeeting. But that's going to be a weekly free client call where clients can ask questions about anything. And that way there's a bit of a community with clients. So anyway, that's coming up. We'll probably start that next week as well. Now that we're in the office, we're going to be implementing more tools like that. So, all right. Well, I think we're coming to the end of our call for tonight. If you have any more questions, that would be great. I got it through the ones that came up this week. And again, I'm grateful for you, and we're working very hard at keeping up, and we are keeping up, but we're taking ground on what we've had as a backlog. What I've had for a backlog, my team didn't have that; they inherited that. So anyway, so that's all good. All right. So thank you so much, and I love you, and be sure to like and subscribe if you do that kind of thing. That helps a lot, and we're looking to grow, and we'll keep you posted on anything else that's coming up that's new. All right? All right, you're terrific. See you soon. I got to figure out how to shut this out. So isn't that great? There you go. I see where it is. Okay, so thanks so much. Talk to you soon. All right, there you go. Sweet.